with you if you're going.
Okay.
Hey, game guy.
What's up, game guy?
Hi, game guy.
That's the best.
Thanks for the host.
Game guy.
Thanks for the host.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 240th episode of the Angry Cuddles podcast.
There's your reminder.
We're going to... Oh, yeah, thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Kelly. We're going to blow through this intro because we have so much shit to do and talk about today. It's going to be a huge show. My name is Steven. Joining me today is Chuck, Will, and Shark. Everybody say hi.
Hey.
Hi. Okay, so Microsoft bombshelled us today with something that was not even, they didn't even hint at it. It was one of those things where specifically we had heard kind of like the backwards compatibility thing before that became a thing, where it was just like, hey, don't even ask us to do this, because even if we could, who would want to?
Right.
And
John Hammock. Holy shit. Hammock. There's another follower from Red
Thanks.
Six, the Golden Corral.
Thank you for the follow, John Amick. We appreciate it. And Ipandori, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining the broadcast. If you guys haven't yet, follow us, and you get to see a little dance and Chuck. And if you don't get to see the dance and Chuck, then we will, make sure it's chucked. Is the audio desynced? Because I can set an offset if need to. If you guys are noticing something specific that's wrong, we have almost everything completely nailed down. We have almost every little technical thing fixed up, but if there's something that's just a little off, let me know. Anyway, so Ipandori, thank you for following us. We're well on our way to 200. Thanks, guys. You're the best.
Yeah, you can't see my horns through my me gif.
Right. But yeah, so what Microsoft
Wait, the
announced
horns are on my head.
was that
My hat.
they have opened the door to cross network play.
Mm-hmm.
So they've opened the door. If Sony wants to, they can now play with Xbox players. PC can play with Xbox players. You got a little ant on you. Off it goes.
You had an ant on you.
I think Sony's going to kind of have to do it because
I think they have to now.
Yeah.
Because they opened the... Are you okay, Chuck?
I have a thing about ants.
Oh, you have another one.
Optiplex, thanks for joining us. So, the first game that's going to be cross is...
There's no more. But that was very strange.
Fucking ants.
It's just a single one.
Fucking
No,
no,
there was
there was
another
another
one.
one.
There was another one? Oh.
Chuck,
They're gonna
You okay, man?
why do you have ants
I don't
on
know.
you?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. Just... I hate ants.
This is turning into an eldritch horror.
That's great.
Oh, Game Guy says, and of course, they announced cross-platform play 2 weeks after he spends his platinum in Warframe.
Yeah, and after 3 weeks, 3 weeks after I finally got my computer working, so I may very well have just fucked myself on that platinum anyway. So, Game Guy, you good? Wow, I just heard me.
Sorry
What
about
just-
that.
Okay, Ipandori, ants do love me. There have been
It's because his sweet personality.
ant track. God damn it, Optiplex, Antractive.
That's
Really?
good. Antractive.
Really? So there have been 2 times in my life that I have woken up in the middle of the night and there were literally ants crawling all over my bed.
What the hell's the matter with you?
I don't know what the hell is the matter with me. All I know is there have been twice where ants have been crawling all over my bed, and I've had dreams that ants were crawling over my leg, and it was like that fucking scene from The Godfather, but replace the severed head with a shitload of ants. And I'm just like, not exactly screaming out of the top of my lungs, but I dove for cover like those fuckers had AKs.
Okay, so that's a real quick question.
Serpentine, motherfucker.
Before we get into the cross-platform thing, then, even though the show's packed and we have to move this thing
Stop
along.
it with the puns,
Oh,
all
God.
of you. Every last one of you.
Antagonizing. Antagonizing you.
Now I'm all like itchy because I think there's ants on me.
So, no. It may have not even been 2. It may have been the same one that I didn't quite get off of you. So
Have I been putting honey on myself? Maybe, but that's just between me and my
Chuck
girlfriend.
smears honey on himself before he streams every afternoon, just to get. No, actually,
it puts him in
APOC,
the mood.
Just to get off anymore.
APOC, thanks for coming, man. And actually, we started on time today, which is
Hey!
unusual for us.
I don't feel
is the thing.
alive unless insects are crawling all over me.
So, what's a phobia of yours that's a completely crazy phobia?
Ants.
And then we'll talk about cross-platform play. Yeah, so just something that you're just bejeezy about, and there's no real reason for it, which is what phobia is. But
Insects or bugs inside human bodies.
inside humans, but that's pretty specific.
there was a scene in the Last Witch Hunter where there was like maggots and stuff, and I was like,
okay, yeah, I
had
get
to
you.
hide in the hide so that I wouldn't barf.
Actually, I think for me, it's like swarming crawly ants.
Okay,
in a
yeah.
swarm. Like she mentions the Last Witch Hunter. I mentioned Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Crystal Skull.
When that dude started getting eaten up by those big ants, I was literally like,
I can't believe you have an ant phobia.
Yeah.
okay.
What about you, Will?
After
Nothing
the bed.
scares me.
You were gonna say that.
I'm supposed to say that shit directly into the mic. Stone faced. Nothing scares me.
Kidnapping.
Kidnapping. Someone
Scares
kidnapping
me.
you. That's
Not-
such a narcissistic
not
phobia.
me. Not me.
Okay.
My
You're afraid of-
I have this like crazy fear of my nieces getting kidnapped, and I'm sure
Okay.
it'll transition to when I have a kid.
You'll be a completely overbearing parent.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
kid's gonna be no fun.
Yeah, he's not gonna ever have
No fun at all.
or she.
I don't know. The mummy style scarabs were clearly CGI, so I was like, "Oh, that
Yeah.
looks really cool." But
Well,
We've heard from
scarabs are nasty things.
that, and I haven't had scarabs crawling all over my bed in the middle of the night. And
They're
Right.
like advanced cockroaches.
Skycar says bees. Apocalypse Zombie says I have pediophobia, which I think means he's scared of kids. Pandora says pedobearphobia, which is an act that's
is
a good
legit
one.
fear. That is something you should be afraid of at all times.
And Game Guy, the new Earth Defense Force probably already came out. They just stopped announcing when they release them. They just put them out
Because you should know by now.
Massive moths trapped inside a small room. Optiplex. That's crazy. And pediophobia is a phobia of any inanimate object with human features. Okay, that's I can see that. Mine is
that's where you
weed
start-
whackers.
Weed whackers?
Mm-hmm. You know, the edging
Yeah. Yeah.
things.
Clown shrimp.
What I'm afraid is that as I'm driving by, it's going to kick up a rock and blow my brains out. Just go,
It'll happen too, man.
yeah, I know. That's
Wasn't
why.
that in like some random movie or something? Where
Was it?
There was like a rock. Oh, it was
Maybe
a
I saw it in a
lawnmower.
movie when I was a kid, and like that's what gave it to me.
It was
Quick
a
question:
lawnmower.
would you rather a rock kick up and kill you, or shoot your dick off?
Dick.
Seriously?
I'd rather it
Yeah.
kill me.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I can get by.
I can't.
I could get by.
I won't do it.
Dude, medical science has come such a long way. They could probably give you a fully functioning piece.
They've already started working on growing
dicks.
vaginas in
they-
the lab.
They did the last uterus transplant.
Yeah.
I'm sure they can give you a penis, man.
I just don't want to see it. I don't want to see it broken.
And you could make it any way you. Oh, like you don't want to see it like snapped in half and dangling
like-
from the threads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
that'd
that be traumatizing?
traumatizing.
This thing that you've enjoyed for your whole
Your
life.
best friend.
Your best friend. Your best
In front
bud.
of you.
And suddenly it's more injured than anything.
Okay, so let's talk about Xbox
I-
One
yeah.
crossplay.
I'm used to too much Guro art, so it's like that's really not all that weird sounding to me. So I'm just kind of like, whatever.
Yeah,
Is
it's
there-
not weird. It's just painfully
Is there anyone that's against opening up these networks and playing across platforms?
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things they said, here's an asterisk, is that you will have the option on your Xbox to toggle only play with other Xbox players.
Okay.
So that's an option. So that said, and you guys in the chat too, anybody against this move? Does anybody not want to be able to play with people across platforms?
No, I think it's a good idea.
My fear is that it's gonna create just lag hell.
That is the only.
As long
thing I
as
would
it
be concerned
technically
with.
works.
My fear is it's
Right.
going to create another fanboy battlefield, and it's just going to be a bunch of shitheads just going back and forth about, hey, you suck because you're playing on the wrong system.
I think this will help bridge those, actually.
Now,
I think if
it's
you
just gonna
throw
make
me
it worse.
If you throw me in with the PlayStation guys and like, hey, what are you playing on? Like, oh, I'm on PlayStation 4. I'm like, oh, well, it'll start that way. Yeah, with some like, I'm not grouping with you, you piece of shit, you PlayStation fuck. And then, as the weeks go by, you're like, okay, well, we really do need a healer. And then you can
Caldane's got a
bridge
good
those.
point.
That's
too.
basically how segregation in the 60s worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's integration, man.
Yeah.
We got to do it. Caldane
You gotta
worrying
integrate.
about the API being hacked. Yeah. When you open that up to the PC, it does make it easier. That's something that I'd be aware of. And that's incumbent upon the developers and the publishers to do like what Rockstar did with the Max Payne 3 cheaters, is you need to be on that shit. And Capcom's getting better at it with Street Fighter 5 and the Rage Quitters. Throw them all in the same lobby. If someone cheats, just throw them in the cheaters lobby.
Rockstar does that too.
Yeah.
That's good.
They got Cheaters Row.
Yeah.
Because
And
that's just so shitty.
Mostly for MMO and RPGs, I'm with APOC. Like when it's a shooter
Isn't
situation.
it like a little prison cell or something that your character's stuck in for a certain period of
No,
time?
they just only match make with other cheaters now at this point.
Like,
Oh.
do they get like a mark of Cain on their on their
That'd be
thing?
good. Like physically stamp their
The scarlet
character.
letter C on their profile.
But
They should.
if
Right?
someone's
It's an
playing
L for
Battlefield
loser.
and I'm playing Battlefield and they're on PC and I'm on Xbox, if they're using a keyboard and mouse,
They're gonna win.
that's the feeling.
Yeah.
They've said that they're opening up the Xbox One for keyboard and mouse support in games,
What?
so that you have that option. Or maybe I misheard that. I heard somewhere that was an option on the table at some point, but
I don't like it. I don't like this.
it's now become scary to you.
It's
It's
new
becoming
technology.
it's too much. I like a console because it's a console because I don't have to deal with anything. And right now my Xbox is already like pissing me off to no end because of this NAT type thing that's happening.
Yeah,
This NAT type.
something that you have to set on your router.
It won't allow me. Like I have tried every fucking facet of everything to reset my NAT type. And today I couldn't even use chat on the Division party
What?
chat because my NAT type is blah blah blah. I had to like reset my Xbox over and over again.
Does it only happen with one game, or does it happen with?
No, I can't play Minecraft online
Okay.
because of my NAT type. Like all that, it's like fuck you, Xbox. Like I bought you, work. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have to go through.
Percussive maintenance.
Yeah, I don't want to have to jump through a bunch
Percussive
of
maintenance.
fucking hoops.
Yes, because that's precisely what you want to do with your Xbox One is kick it.
So if anybody here in the chat can help me fix my NAT type and turn it to
Router
open,
problem.
Do what you can for the guy before he has to call tech support, and then you're gonna get really pissed off.
oh dude, I'm gonna call Microsoft tech support
Yeah.
and literally
Just
shove my.
What's your?
I wish I could
Oh,
shove
your
my
router-
I really gotta
Your
beat
router's
up
also
some,
your modem.
Some poor
Yeah, it's all in the
Vietnamese or
bedroom.
Middle Eastern guy just because he can't help you. Because that's probably what it's gonna be.
yeah.
Um.
Well, whoever
Kaldane
it is
says he
getting
can
a
help.
big mouth full of my balls.
Oh, not the person helping you.
Kaldane, you can
The
help.
person screwing you. Well, Kaldane, he just sold you his balls. so
replace
you may
your
wanna
hard
get him.
drive and reinstall
Being
the
our only
OS.
hope.
But yeah,
Start over
your-
from scratch.
Your modem and router is the same thing,
Uh-huh.
so that may be your ISP that you need to talk to. Maybe. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, whoever it is, I'm
Anyway.
gonna talk to everyone.
Have you tried
Um,
putting your console in a DMZ?
One of the things Kaldane also mentioned was a lot of streamers. He watches a lot of
Demilitarized
streamers,
Zone.
and the keyboard, mouse versus controller thing. You say maybe over exaggerated.
Yeah.
And these will all be things. These will all be things that I think that be aware of. If we start being like, look, yeah, we love playing Titanfall 2 with the PC kids, but they outgun us because they're much more precise or whatever.
Right.
Then there will be a technological way to balance those things. I don't know what it is.
I guess
But there's a
Yeah,
way.
They'll figure something.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll
Oh.
be just Xbox.
Do
specific
that,
or
Shark.
something.
I think you're. We need new XLR cables. If you guys want to.
Yeah. See, I don't think any of that really bothers me because I'm not a competitive gamer. Like I play online to play co-op.
You
Yep.
do.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
if someone's outshining me, by all means, they're on
Of
my
course,
team.
They're on your
I
team.
don't believe you with the co-op because you make such a big damn deal about playing with ESO. And
Right.
I dare say this NAT type thing is just an excuse he's hiding behind.
It is not.
Digital Gold, hey,
It is
thanks for
driving me
joining. Also,
fucking
thanks for the
crazy.
follow earlier when we were offline. We appreciate
Who
that.
is Digital Gold?
I don't know, but you owe, because they followed while we were offline, you owe Digital a dance.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Do it.
Do it.
Excuse me.
Do your
Dance, monkey, dance.
Do it.
Oh, hey, you actually get to see the dance with the Pikachu earphones. So, hey, game guy, start taping because this is going to get a little interesting.
And while Chuck's dancing, Game Guy actually swaps between controller and mouse when he gets in a flying vehicle. That's awesome. And here goes Chuck. Yeah, thanks for the follow, Digital Gulp. That's for you. Yeah, Shark, check Shark.
And that was the.
Your mic there.
There we go. That was the
'Cause
part
we're
of
not-
Sprockets
we're
when
not
we
with ya.
dance. Maybe it's on the other side here. Maybe it's
Nah.
here,
Nah,
here,
nah,
here,
nah,
here.
nah.
Whoa.
Jiff it. Oh, we did.
Check,
Pandora,
check,
we did.
check,
We did
check.
GIF it. We gift it.
It works now because Will blew me.
Ooh.
I'm pretty good.
And was it good for her too?
I hope.
Okay, folks.
It's not ribbed for my pleasure,
It's
but
time
I'll
to talk.
accept it.
Time to talk bosses. We got a bunch of people that responded to our boss questionnaires and asked for info, and we picked a bunch ourselves. We're going to start with... These
Agni and Rudra.
Going to kind of in alphabetical order. This is Agni and Rudra from Devil May Cry 3, and this was when I was playing the game, this was the first time that I came across what I thought might be me quitting the game.
Really?
Because it was so fucking hard.
Yeah.
It was outlandishly difficult.
I loved this fight.
Yeah.
Because to me, it felt like it was harder than Chinese algebra, but at the same time, it was a fun fight too. Like you had to focus on both of them. You had to make sure you were damaging them both pretty evenly, because if you try to just focus on one and kill it, the other one got super powerful and he was damn near impossible to hit. So you had to basically kill them both at the same time.
It was wacky. It was a wacky ass fight. And you get their weapons when you're done, thank God. And the cutscene that actually follows the battle is really funny. But they're really great weapons too. So it's a really tough boss battle with a real great payoff. And that's how bosses should
they're
be done.
funny too.
Yeah.
Because they're twin brothers, so they keep talking to each other.
Oh, the tank from Metal Gear. You mean Metal Gear Solid, or do you mean Metal Gear on like NES, Caldane? Because the tank from Metal Gear Solid with Raven, right?
Yep, Vulcan Raven.
Yeah, Vulcan Raven. That was a good one. Next up is my 4 to 6 hour fight.
Angramania.
From
It looks
Jesus,
like H.R. Geiger.
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, classic
fucked
NES
a
is what
crab.
Caldane said. And here's the thing. You have 3 points of attack here, and you have to switch jobs to be able to damage them, and one of them heals them all. And then if you destroy one of them, the core will revive them after a while. So I did beat this boss, and that battle, and I don't mean
most of it too.
And I don't mean dying and restarting and dying and restarting. I mean from start of battle to finish of battle. It was
4 hours.
Yeah, something like 4 hours. It was a long ass time.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you got to chip away
What
at
game is
Angramania.
it?
Final Fantasy X-2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched him fight this thing.
Yeah, it was
Like he was fighting it, and then I went to work, and then I went back to see how he was doing, and he was still fighting it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Here we go.
Ooh, Dragon Age.
Dragon Age, the Archdemon.
Yep.
And
It's a kitty.
the cool thing about this battle
I'm a pet.
is that all of you go around the
Kinda
game
slimy.
not only recruiting like your party, but recruiting allies in the world. And depending on who you've recruited and kept alive and kept from pissing off, will aid you in this battle. And it's this huge open, like, here come the werewolves, here come the elves, here come the dwarves, kind of thing.
Did you piss everyone off and no one came?
There's a way you can do that. You can do it alone. And to help you do it alone, there's like 3 or 4 ballista around that you have to like run to, and you can pull back and fire, and it does like a chunk of damage. But then you have to run to another one while that one sits and like reloads and stuff.
I guess that pissed off everybody because the ballista were the only things I had able to make. I don't even know how I did it. I didn't even know I had done it. I didn't even know you could call people over and go, "Hey, help me out fighting this great big fuck off dragon."
Hey, you guys.
But nobody came.
Will.
Wait, but nobody came?
Dude.
Did you just make a... Wow.
There he is, Argosax.
Tell us about Argosax, Will.
He's a combination of every boss from Devil May Cry 2. And holy shit.
Trish?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mod. But this was a better shot of sort of Argosax.
Yeah. Holy shit, is he a hell of a boss.
It's a massive blob.
Yeah.
And as you said, it's every boss from the game all in one blob.
Yeah.
It sounds almost a lot like Legion from Castlevania.
This is what happened to me when I was playing Devil May Cry 2.
Which, by the way, Legion creeped me the fuck out.
And Devil May Cry 2 is certainly the black eye on the series. Like it's Devil May Cry is a fantastic game. 3 is a fantastic game. Half of 4 is amazing. And the reboot
none of 2
is phenomenal.
Really good.
But none of 2 is really good.
The actual Irish sunglasses versus the gothic whiny liner.
So in this one, what I learned was if I stand back in the corner, and just dodge the lasery stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I can just gun, and it takes a long time.
Yeah.
But I can just stand there pretty safely and just walk around and gun.
Yeah.
But
That
was
takes
this
the fun
was
out
this
of it.
something that was like more visually scary for you, or did you have trouble with this
think-
boss, or what?
Because I was younger when I played this game, that I don't know, something about it stuck with me. I remember because I played back to back 1 and 2, and like
Interesting.
so the story was just fantastic. Because Devil May Cry 1 was obviously way better,
Definitely.
Yeah.
and I think it was better than all the rest.
Really?
My personal opinion. Devil May Cry 1 kicked fucking ass.
I really just love Devil May Cry a lot for the soundtracks, just like Guilty Gear.
Oh, totally.
Chuck's
Just
with
a
you on that one.
fucking
The GMC
music.
soundtrack is just amazing.
Yeah.
DMC 3? Holy shit, DMC 3.
My favorite one is actually the reboot, is DMC. It was one of the ones where, much like Halo 4, I feel like the people that took over the franchise understood that franchise better than the people that created it.
Yeah.
So when 343, which was a Microsoft spinoff, and I understand it's not completely divorced from Bungie, but when Halo 4 was better than any other Halo that had ever preceded it, just the story, the main game.
Sometimes whenever you're creating something for so long, it starts growing out of
Yeah.
hand, and you're trying to respond to the fans as far as what they're asking for and what they want, but you're also trying to come up with new things to bring more people in,
And
eventually just gets out of control.
the DMC, actually, the reboot is actually, it's part reboot and part canon. Like, did you ever play 3, Will?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, in 3, sort of the main antagonist is Dante's brother Virgil, and 3 is a prequel to 1 and 2. So Dante's younger.
Oh, he doesn't have his white hair yet, right?
In the reboot, he doesn't have the white hair.
Mm-hmm.
And in the reboot, it goes even further back to where, but it explains how he and Virgil split.
Yeah.
And it's a fantastic game. Okay,
I'm trying
pressing
to remember,
forward.
Trying to remember who did the music for the DMC.
This is from John Mosley.
Oh, yeah.
Arthas Menethil.
You are not prepared.
And this was one,
The Lich King?
the Lich King, that he said was a really big deal because it not only was a really memorable boss that from the first expansion, right? That was the first expansion?
Wrath of the Lich King?
No.
Second
No.
expansion?
I don't even think it was the second.
I don't honestly remember.
Yeah, it's been
Shit.
so long.
There was like,
I played during Burning Crusade, and I
Burning
stopped
Crusade
playing
was the
during
first one.
Burning Crusade.
yeah,
Burning Crusade was the first one.
and then there was the Panda one.
Wrath. And it was Burning Crusade, Wrath,
Wrath-
Cataclysm,
Miss Pandaria.
Pandemonium, Pokemon Pandemonium, and then Warlords of Draenor.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he said that the Lich King battle also, though, closed off a long-running chapter of the canon that started in Warcraft, like 3 or something. So it wasn't just closing out like World of Warcraft stuff. It was, if you had been Warcrafting like from the get-go,
Yeah.
this was like a big deal.
Oh, Ethan Dory got it straightened out. Burning Crusade,
Lich King,
Cataclysm, Miss
Warlords.
Pandaria, Warlords,
Legion.
and then
Yes!
Legion's coming out.
Can
Thank you,
Warcraft?
Pandora.
Can you run
Fucking
Warcraft
Noisia?
on a
Yes.
on a
Noisia
console?
Christ.
On a Mac?
on a MacBook Pro?
I think the only games that
Can
MacBooks
you
have
Blizzard
is
on that?
Photoshop.
Oh.
I don't. Can you? Can somebody in the
Does anybody
chat
know?
answer
Yeah,
this?
let us know.
Because I
Next
used to
up.
play the shit out of it.
Big Daddy.
The Big Daddies.
Mr. Bubbles.
This
But it
You
also
should
feels like
totally-
a kick in the pants whenever you kill a Big Daddy, because he's there
It's,
to protect
yeah.
the little sisters.
it not
Well,
only
I'm saving the little sisters. Thank you very
not
much.
only is there, but there's an element of you questioning the ethics of killing these things, but they're also terrifying. Not only are the way that the introduction is terrifying, but whenever you hear one, like you hear the, you know, you've got to take care. You can't go, all right, let's do it. You know, it's
Especially
It's
since
gonna fuck
you're
you.
normally kind of running low on ammo when you run into a Big Daddy because you just got through
Yeah.
fucking up a bunch of splicers.
yeah.
Splicer, no splicing.
This is one of the worst
Oh, fuck this one.
worst boss battles.
It
That I've
looks
ever
like
played.
purple spaghetti.
It's a big giant tentacly vagina called the Destroyer from the first Borderlands game.
That is a perfect name for a vagina.
You
For a big
destroyer.
purpley tentacled vagina.
So this is how the boss battle went for me. I had this SMG it had this terrible spread, but each shot was 3 shots, and it shot maybe 12 or 13 rounds a second or something.
Right.
So then times 3. So, but it was this terrible spread, and so I called it the blender because I'd have to get close like a shotgun, but then when I held down the trigger, it just went and just like churned people up. So I just went up and I stuck my SMG into its mouth. I pulled the trigger once all the way down, reloaded, pulled the trigger once all the way down, and it was dead. That was the end boss of Borderlands.
Wow.
That's it.
And I was like, "Fuck
What
you!"
a letdown.
Yeah.
I remember mentioning the revolver that I had that did all of the elemental damage.
Oh, every element. Yeah.
Yeah, and it took me like 5 minutes to beat this thing.
Okay. Yeah. Which is still like a boss battle should be like a thing, an event,
What pissed me off about this,
especially
one
an end boss battle.
Yeah.
is that this was supposed to have been the guardian of this great treasure, and
Yep.
I was hoping for like a war, a 1 against 100, all of the different factions coming together for this great big finale. And what I
Like
get
Dragon
is
Age.
this thing that looks like it was rejected from the elder gods,
Yeah.
and it's just boring.
Cthulhu's retarded little brother,
No, yeah.
second cousin removed twice.
Even though they're actually closer related by blood, so it's his inbred second cousin.
It's one of the first-person shooters I ever played.
Yeah.
Was Duke Nukem 3D, and it was because I was in middle school and I was promised breasts,
Yeah.
and that's why.
Where is it?
Donde está?
Where is it?
And this was the final. You're in a football field. There's ammo everywhere, and it's just there's no. It's a really simple first-person
no
shooter. You can
Robo
barely
Hitler.
aim,
Yeah.
so you're just running around shooting everything you can
Wait.
and hoping that it doesn't kill you.
Is this the fight from Duke Nukem Forever at the very beginning?
No, this is the end of Duke Nukem 3D.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem Forever replays this in all its glory at the beginning of the game.
So the best part of the game is actually a remake of the original game.
Of the end boss of the original
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
You know what? If it's awesome, use it again.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially
And it
if
turned
it's
out to be
all-
the only really awesome part of the game.
I like Duke Nukem Forever. I can't defend it, but I like it.
Well,
Oh.
we
Oh.
also have a lot of people that like cigarettes, but they also cause cancer. So
I just noticed does
True.
Kefka got a full mask going on there? Is that what that is?
Kefka looks a little jokery. Chuck, tell us about Kefka.
So Kefka is the basically the main antagonist throughout the entirety of Final Fantasy VI, and you called him kind of jokery. He actually is really jokery.
Oh, really?
Like he is out of his mind insane. His theme is actually called Dancing Mad, and it sounds fucking crazy.
it is pretty
But
crazy.
then you get to this part here, and this is his final form. And the music gets really fucking cool at this point. But you have had to go through what is essentially like 4 or 5 boss battles back to back to back.
Well, because you fight Kefka at different points, right?
Well, you're kind of fighting just this tower of Kefka's power before you finally get up to Kefka himself. Hey, look, there's Kefka's tower of power right there.
Thinly
Look at that
veiled.
shit.
Thinly veiled.
Thinly veiled.
He's using it like a towel rack. This is actually the best graphics I've seen Kefka in, and now that I've seen it, I wish I could unsee it, and I can't.
Yeah.
There it is. That is Dancing Mad. This fucking music is just creepy as shit to me.
Did you ever play Final Fantasy VI? Well,
No.
did you?
No, Steven, I
Final-
fucking didn't.
What Final Fantasies have you played?
Final Fantasy Online.
You played 11
11.
or 14.
11.
11.
Yeah. I was big into that.
Ooh, the opera scene.
So this is from Sky and Kyra, Flowey from
That does
Undertale.
not look like Floey.
Now, I
I-
understand.
What the fuck is that?
Understand that I've never
A
played.
severely deformed labia.
I've never
Right.
played.
With a sheep's head.
With eyes.
Understand that I've never played Undertale, so I may have not found the right image, or whatever. But I found something that is an indication of Flowey, and I've never played Undertale, but this was Sky and Kyra said I believe Bastard. or I can't remember. Skycry called it.
Bastard sounds
Something
like an
is a
appropriate
bastard.
nickname
Yeah,
for
it
it.
sounds
so-
right. You
Yeah.
talk about something out of H.R. Geiger.
Yeah, says that's Floey.
Look
Fucking
at that
nightmare
shit.
fuel, says John Hammond.
Yes, fucking nightmare fuel.
Oh yeah. Undertale's one of those that I'm getting ready to get into because I heard it's amazing.
Oh,
Ganondorf.
the final battle in
yeah.
Ocarina.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did this mean anything to anybody?
Of course. I remember the first time ever seeing this. I was, I guess, holy shit. I was so young.
Were you
dude.
little?
I was very, very little. And I was at my buddy Matthew Sohaney's house. And we were playing this fucking game. And we had been playing it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks every weekend. And then finally we get to this. And I remember watching him fight Ganon.
How long did it take you two to go through the water temple?
Oh, God.
Fucking water temple.
Fucking water levels.
I told Steven I
That's
still
water
have
levels.
not, I think,
Officially done
done it by myself.
Yeah.
It's always been with a guide.
If for me to ever go back and play Ocarina of Time ever in any version,
Yeah.
I would have to either be able to go into the code and delete that temple,
Yeah.
or just give the water temple to someone else and go, let me know when you finished it. I don't want to do it again.
So long. Thanks for all the fish.
Yeah.
I'll never go back again. I've enjoyed it enough. I'm done with Ocarina of Time.
The cool thing that I liked about it, and I'm maybe mistaking this one for Wind Waker, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is this the one where you jam the sword into the top of his skull at the very end?
that's Wind Waker.
That's Wind Waker. Okay.
yeah, that's a fucking epic finish. by
Floey
the
is a
way.
prick, is what Skyrim Carver said. Thank you. Yeah.
Water
temple
temple
causes
causes
cancer.
It does.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Mm-hmm. Water cancer. Okay, so this is from a game called Star Fox Adventures.
Oh.
And
Stairfax temperatures.
This
Do a
is
barrel roll.
you've gone through and you've collected all the stuff in the game. Your General Scales is the main bad guy who's organizing all the lizards against all the furry creatures, and you do all this sort of mystical shit, and now you go into the room, and you're finally about to fight General Scales.
Caldane's got
Except
a good.
you struggle with a simple ladder.
Caldane's got a good
Oh,
one.
the dodge lightning in Final
Yeah.
Fantasy X.
MacLeod.
So in this
There
one,
can be only one.
Right? He even looks
Oh,
like
shit.
the Kurgan.
you didn't fly in your ship?
Nope.
No, not really.
Wow.
I think you did from place to place, but this is the final boss.
He's got a
He
spinny head.
he doesn't attack you.
This is like the
at
last
all.
part of the fight with Sephiroth, isn't it?
What the fuck is this?
And when you do finally attack him, it goes to a cutscene.
What the fuck?
What?
And it turns out it was Andross all along.
Oh, what the fuck? Although that is the best I've seen Andross.
Yeah.
He looks
Oh.
like the monkey from Outbreak.
Oh, and then you do a
And then you
Star
do a
Fox.
thing. But
Goma!
but before we get to Goma,
Oh,
the
nice.
thing is the game never mentions Andross. None of it.
Yeah.
It's all you get to the end and you do one swing of the final boss, and then it just throws you into a cutscene, and he just randomly goes, "It was Andross all along, I guess. Fight me."
Mega Man
Oh,
5 does that.
shucks.
Fuck you,
camp.
Nintendo.
Dude, Goma. I love how each boss in Ocarina would be accompanied by parasitic armored arachnid, like
Yeah.
it like
They
told
have a
you what
title.
this fucking thing was.
This is from
It's
Mike.
a Japanese thing.
Mike
I
said
really like
Goma
that.
really meant a lot to him because it was you come in and you look up and it's
Yeah, that
Across
was
the
so
Oh,
cool.
ceiling.
fuck spiders.
yeah, and fuck spiders, and so
This one was pretty though. Look at those colors, and then the eye just really stands out.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
the
know-
eye would do
wanna
the
shoot it.
spinning.
You know what those colors in nature say? Leave me alone. I'm poisonous.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
game guy referring to Star Fox said horribly boring game.
Yes, it is.
It was it wasn't like a complete ruin of a game, but it had a lot of shit going. on.
It was complete ruin of a franchise, I'd say.
Yeah,
I thought they were gonna come out with another Star Fox soon.
yeah.
Well, they
Yeah, they have
are,
another one.
but it's been like 10 years
They,
at
they
least.
had to let it like wait for everyone's disappointment
Please
to
don't
fade
fight
away to a
spiders.
low resentment.
Sky and Kyra. Next up,
Goro.
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 Is it time?
This is one because this is the first time in Mortal Kombat where you're not playing against like
Thank you
another
for going with
playable
me on that
fighter. Wait, what was your reference?
The Mortal Kombat
Mortal
movie.
Kombat.
Oh, the movie.
There's a time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Just
Well,
let these
and then
humans
you
win long
then,
enough.
Then you just watch Johnny Cage punch him in
It's
the dick.
fucking.
Mike-
yeah, after he drops 20 people in a row to fucking napalm death.
Mike and I always go, yeah, Goro. Like when we,
The
but
twins.
that was our This is the first time though that you get to a fighter who's not listed. So in the game at the time,
Who is this
this
guy?
was scary for me.
Yeah.
Does anybody play head-to-head fighting games anymore?
Every once in a while, I still have I still enjoy the Guilty Gear series every now and
Guilty
again.
Gear.
I think I was the reason why we were discussing 2D fighters in the first place.
Yeah.
I'm the one that still plays.
Which one do you still play, Chuck?
I still play MVC3 with Disaster Flare.
Oh, cool. All right, Chuck.
Oh yeah, yeah, buddy. Okay, for starters, second from the left, I really want to cosplay that guy one day. That is Handsome Purple. All of these guys are the handsome men. Now, the reason why this one caught my attention so much is because
They're the handsome men, but two of them have skirts.
the Punishing Rangers.
Just like the X-Men frequently have women on their team.
For
Okay.
starters, the X people. For starters, this game is already out of its goddamn mind.
Yeah, it's a trip. Killer 7 is the name of the game.
So when
Okay.
you get to this part in Killer 7, all of a sudden you're fighting these Power Ranger knockoffs, and then all right, just fucking roll with it. And then it turns into a one-on-one fight between the handsome men and then all of the Smith personae. And you really don't have any choice on whether or not one lives or dies. It's just kind of a scripted event.
Yeah.
But then the goddamn music, because that music we use as the intro
Oh yeah, we used it for
Techno Syndrome.
Techno Syndrome on KTCU.
Yeah.
When we had a Chuck and I were on a radio show, a local radio show
With
a few
Corporate Cal.
years ago, actually with Corporate Cal, on the college radio station, and we did game reviews and stuff, and we used music from Killer 7. But yeah, each of the fractured persona of the main character, Harmon Smith,
Yeah.
or was Harmon just one of the
No,
fragments?
Harmon was the
core?
host. He was
Okay.
number 8.
So they each go up against in like a duel, and it's kind of scripted, but you play the scripted event. It's more or less a QuickTime event, but in a world of wackiness in that game, this was especially wacky.
Yep.
Okay, so this is Hugh Darrow from
Deus Ex Human Revolution.
let me-
Spoilers for people who have been following.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously this whole podcast is going to be spoilery.
Yeah.
But the thing that's neat about this boss battle is that it's a verbal boss battle. You get the personality traits and the psychological profile of the guy.
If you
on
have the
right.
implants.
If you have the implants to learn such things. On the left, you have your persuasion level and alpha, beta, omega personality type as he does things that trigger each personality type. And what you do is you choose reactions and things to play into how to persuade him.
Right.
And
That's insanely creative.
There are several.
This is why we
batches
need
like
polio
this.
vaccines, though.
I don't know, he looks pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
I'd get polio for a really awesome mech leg.
This guy is supposed to have been like the father of transhumanism. At any point of time, he could have gotten his leg replaced with a cybernetic prosthetic, but he doesn't.
See, like a little graphic came up to show like his eye and like how his retina changed, like
Right.
reacted to what you said. And as you go through the conversation, this specific one, he chooses enough to persuade him to help. And so I think there's a lot of things that can happen here. And he just sort of says, okay, fine, fuck it. Here's how to shut down the shit.
What I like most about this one is that you're having this words only boss battle with this dude, and at the same time you're basically having this great big philosophical political argument about the dangers versus the joys of transhumanism, and that's just super duper fascinating for me. So
Yeah.
you combine a unique boss battle type with like this straight up just discussion thing going on.
And then Jensen punches him
I didn't
out.
know you
And
could
then
do
he just
that.
knocks the shit out of him.
Clocks him.
Why didn't he just do that at the
Still
beginning
alive.
and take the codes out of his pocket?
Because they were probably in his head.
I can't
He goes,
remember exactly.
no, he took the
Ooh.
codes and he goes, here you go. He threw them on
Fuck
the
it.
ground.
Yeah.
Oh, Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
Can Can we pet it?
Will, did you ever play Mass Effect series? I can't remember.
I was not into it.
What?
You tried?
No.
I'm gonna punch the
just
shit
never-
out of you.
I just don't want to like what Chuck likes.
I am gonna punch the shit out of you.
Shark, did you ever watch or play Mass
Dick.
Effect, any of it?
I've seen a little bit of it, but I'm not familiar with this, unfortunately.
Okay, so in Mass Effect 2, you assemble your crew like a normal BioWare game, and when you are sufficiently ready, when you feel you are sufficiently ready, you can launch the suicide mission. And it's very likely that you and everyone are going to die. And
that is
that's
usually
what's
why they're
told
called
you at the
I've done it
beginning.
and
suicide
saved
missions.
everybody.
When you get these collectors are collecting people is the plot of the game. Collectors working for the Reapers, just collecting people. And they don't know why. They don't know why people are just randomly disappearing. What they're doing with them. What they're doing is building a human Reaper, and the Reapers are robots. So in the theme, in each Mass Effect, there is some tech versus organic, tech versus organic, and then a lot of people that want to blend the two. And so if you've been paying attention to Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, the ending of Mass Effect 3 should not really piss you off all that much, guys, because it's thematically consistent with everything they've done so far.
Yeah, that is provided, that's the one that you go for as the canon ending.
Right. But this was absolutely terrifying. This was a terrifying boss battle.
What terrifies me about this one, though, those 4 orange cylinders right there above his head, those are filled with
the
humans.
Critteruses?
They are the Critteruses?
Yeah, the Critterus is what you hit on the boss to hurt it.
Oh, yeah, the giant glowing fuck me lights.
Yeah.
Yes. Those things are filled with human goo. Like they are humans and they have been liquefied so that they can have
Kinda
their
like the
genetic
Matrix.
material.
Oh.
So it's kind of like some weird Full Metal Alchemist shit.
Yeah, and that's how they made this thing. That's the reason it looks like a human is because they've been using human genetic material to build this robot, and they have built it in the image of humanity.
Why would you do that? That's
in
complete waste.
In the first Mass Effect, the Reapers were Protheans, and they did the same thing to them. So yeah, you're fighting a Prothean-looking Reaper.
Did you guys ever play God of War?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
this is the Leviathan, isn't it?
The Hydra at the
Hydra.
very beginning of the first game.
It's I get it. Okay, now I can see what I'm looking
It
at.
was so cinematic,
Yep.
and it was there are a lot of quick time events, but it was it gave you a sense of scale, and that's what I really like in
Right.
games, where when you come up against an enemy and you're like, holy fuck, as you look up it.
The feeling I got in the God of War series that did the holy shit, it was the Colossus of Rhodes right there at the beginning of God of War 2.
Of 2.
Yeah.
Did you guys have did you particularly like God of War? Did you just play it like cool action game?
No, to me, I mean,
It was a cool action game.
It was a cool action game. That's really
it's
it.
kind of neat. It's a little campy.
Yeah.
But
then, it's...
I mean, I am vaguely amused where it's like you can press the button and make the vase fall off the
Oh, yeah.
bedside. So I'm easily entertained with small side things.
So this is a Corporate Cal. His mention. This is from Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, and there were a lot of crazy tough boss battles in this game, but specifically
Nintendo
the one that
hard.
got him was
Iron Knuckle.
Iron Knuckle.
Oh god, this is such a grating palette.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, it doesn't get any better.
So it's a blue knight, and you have to face several knights just to get here.
So you had to be
you have to
really
Mario
careful about how
him?
you fight them. Well, you pick up the penis sword, as we call it in Smash.
Yeah.
You pick up the penis sword as a trained skill. You've only had it for maybe a couple of hours, so hopefully you've had enough practice with it, because now you have to aim.
And now when he gets off his horse is where the real shit. Look at his life; it's back
shit.
up, and so you have to land your hit right above the shield.
Oh,
And
wow.
then make sure that you're blocking those daggers that he's
that he's
throwing.
just throwing at
Those
you.
I don't think he has
Those
enough magic
dildos?
left to heal. So the fact that he was able to beat him this fast, also he was red, he was a shielded. There was another spell he had. So if he
Yeah.
wasn't shielded, he would have been dead by then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krauser,
Krauser, Resident Evil
Krauser.
4.
Yeah.
go get the girl.
This is the first time in Resident Evil 4 that you come across something that's not like, a horrific freak, some sort of...
Oh, he turns into a
Weird.
horrific
I mean, he turns
freak
into one.
eventually, but yeah.
But he is just he's got his knife, he's got his guns. I mean, it's more like
Obviously
like a
inspires
PvP
gay porn.
battle.
I
is
can
what it
see
feels
your
like.
every move.
And he's hard. Like he's difficult.
Damn
Shark.
it.
He's a very difficult.
And also,
boss
the first
battle.
time you encounter Krauser, your first like boss battle with Krauser was a quick time event. It was a QTE,
Yeah.
and it was a really hard QTE too. And this is the game
Yeah.
that kind of like perfected quick time events. So
this-
you had to be on your
This
game.
fight was difficult.
Jesus. It was also multi-tiered.
Also, he might have been hard. I mean,
figuratively inlet. No, he
He
was.
probably
He was
was.
quite
Oh,
hard.
yeah,
Because
probably.
remember when he gets the creepy fleshy wing arm thing, it turns
he does
into
get, he does
turns
get
into
like
a
an
shield.
arm erection.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
And then he uses it as a shield.
Next up, Kreia from
Darth Triad.
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.
2.
John Amick says, "Fuck QTEs." We're going to talk QTEs at some point in a
We
segment.
should have been talking QTEs and gameplay mechanics.
Yeah,
And I
for
actually
sure.
defended it a little bit.
So Kreia is part of your party
The whole
through the whole
time.
game, and you get to the end. She's the final boss, but the thing is, she pulls out a lightsaber and goes, and then 3 more go around her and start floating around her defensively.
Curse your sudden
And-
but inevitable betrayal.
Before the General Grievous, who used 4 lightsabers,
He used them by hand.
he used them by hand, and that's cool. Although he's a robot, so it's a little less cool.
Yeah.
But her use of 4 lightsabers at once was to me
Amazing.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Like when you come to the stream, you go, "Oh, what the fuck am I gonna do now?"
Yeah.
Be super careful is what.
Yeah.
Now, what
Should
I-
have worn the brown pants today.
what I like about this battle with Kreia is that you've essentially been fighting Kreia the whole game, because every time you do something, Kreia will say, "Are you sure that was the right thing to have done?" And then she will go at length and explain to you why you were stupid for doing whatever you did.
Well,
At which
whatever you
point,
did.
You just sit there and say,
You-
"Well,
you-
I did it because of this."
You really can't do anything that she's like, "Oh yeah, hey, I like that." It's rare. Most of the time, she challenges you on why you
You
did
get,
something.
like,
so it's
6 or 7
consistently disapproving Southern
It's basically your mom.
yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Well, there are like 5 or 6 other characters that you can pick up on your team, and you can adjust their light side, dark side meter with actions of your own and also conversations with them. No matter what you do, Treya never moves. She is always true neutral.
Oh, you're welcome, Sky and Kyra. Sky and Kyra thanks us for the blind Vader comic strip that we sent her.
Yeah, glad you got it. Okay,
Sent ya.
can I have this picture? Because this is a beautiful picture.
That is a
Okay,
pretty
okay.
awesome background.
You like the Kyogre?
It's a nice vector.
I can't. Someone mentioned Kyogre, and I think it was you. Yes, it was you.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was totally me.
What's great about this boss battle?
Team Aqua, since I'm playing Sapphire, Team Aqua is the team that's going to win, and they're going to drown the world in water so that the world that remains is green, and then more Pokemon can live on it. And
Sounds good.
It does sound good. And then
Sounds good to me.
This guy here is supposed to be the one that brings the rain.
Why can't there be a
Legend,
game?
Wait for it, Derek.
Why can't there be a game where instead of you convincing, so we have very few games that allow you to convince the final boss.
Yeah.
I'd like a game where I can agree with the final boss, where I get there and they explain their plan. I'm like, oh, no. That's good.
This isn't
Yeah.
the final boss.
Throw me in.
I'd be like, I'm
Well,
super
well,
sorry
any
I've been
boss.
thwarting all of your
Oh,
plans.
shit. Yeah, that's a great idea.
But here's-
Let's
Go
do
for
it.
But
Let's
what-
be evil now. Hooray, I'm evil.
But Team Aqua, much like Team Magma in Ruby, is they haven't thought their plan all the way through. They're like, okay, yeah, all the aquatic type Pokemon are going to start flourishing, but where are the humans going to live? Oh, right.
We're going to have Rapture Cities.
Shit.
I want to see a
Completely forgot
game.
about that.
I want to see a game where you are the extreme villain, the super villain. That's
You are
going
the supervillain.
Yeah, that's
Overlord.
Overlord.
Yeah, Overlord. You
Oh,
summon
I
minions to do
remember
your,
that
do your
game.
bidding.
That did not speak to
that's like-
me.
Yeah, I'm talking like you are a character, because Overlord's like RTS kind of, isn't it? Yeah.
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 I'm talking where you're a character who's plotting world domination.
City of Villains.
Yeah, but even
Yeah,
so,
that's-
you're still
that can't
one of
be
100,000 villains.
Yeah.
You know, just roughing stuff. You're basically a common crook with powers.
You
want to
be a straight up bad guy.
I want to be a straight up bad guy. I want to carry out missions that
I guess
Kick
Infamous
puppies,
was
destroy
one.
Christmas.
Infamous?
Yeah, Sky and Crime mentioned Infamous. That's pretty good because you can start by like sort of being an asshole and sucking life force from people and just building your power and sort of fuck you guys.
Right. But you were still a hero, but an anti-hero. I'm talking. I want.
Infamous may be as close as we're getting to what you're saying, but I understand why.
Yeah.
It's not there. It's not quite.
I want to be the final boss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be those people in that game.
You want to have it where you're doing that and heroes are coming to you to try and kill you, and you're just like, fuck.
Yeah. Exactly.
Kronos.
Sam suggested Lavos. He said that this was one of the most. When I asked him, I said, "Just tell me the first. When I say this word, tell me the first thing that comes to mind." Boss battle, and he went Lavos from Chrono Trigger.
This isn't even his final form that you're looking at. This is just his shell. You kill his head, and then you crawl into the shell, and then you kill the Lavos core. And the Lavos core really is a fuck you battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you got to be careful with how
and the
you
thing
attack.
about Chrono Trigger is you can go to the final boss at any time, right?
Almost. You can get to, as soon as you get the flying time machine, you can go to 1999 and then you can fight them there.
Right.
When you go to the New Game Plus, as soon as you get to like the teleporters that actually break time space, and that's what allows you to go back in time finally. Mm-hmm. As soon as you get to that second teleporter, you can go in right there, which means you can fight Lavos with just Chrono.
Sky and Kyrie says that Lavos looks like a clitoris. It does.
It does.
Yeah. I threw in Master Hand here.
He was such a bitch.
Because he was an asshole.
Oh, yes. Crazy Hand would be my...
And then what was it? They had, like, Shadow Hand come out recently, too. And it's just like, fuck.
And this is when I realized that the whole game was a metaphor for masturbation.
Yeah.
The whole... And it's called Smash Brothers.
My least favorite thing he would do is point his finger and go... and just start poking at you, and you'd be like, "What the fuck?" Oh,
yes, Kaldane. We're gonna get to Betrayals for sure.
What the fuck is that?
This is from Dark Souls.
Of course,
clearly.
This is.
I mean, look at that thing.
Called.
How about Nope?
That is disgusting.
This is straight up what Steven dreams
I'm
about.
gonna get on the Nope train to fuck that Vil.
It's not even just
I want that guy's spear.
Ornstein and Smaug, the Executioner and the Dragon Slayer, or the Dragon Hunter, whatever they call him.
Which one's the Executioner?
Dragon Slayer. The Executioner is the big guy. So here's what happens. These guys are tough as fuck. And this character right here is way super leveled up. I've never seen a health bar that high. So clearly they're like, this character is super powerful.
Jeez.
And he's still getting fucked.
Ah, Jesus. And he's a fucking Lancer, so he's got that fucking reach.
There's the big giant guy who slams down an area of effect. There's the Dragoon kind of guy who's super fast and quick.
I like Dragoons.
When you kill one of them, the other one takes their power. So now, big guy is a lot faster and nimbler now. And
Bob,
just an
Bob from Fight
absolute
Club.
fucking asshole. Just this whole thing.
Fuck.
This was the one where I thought I was gonna quit the game, because up here in the top left you see that
How
0-2.
many times did that happen to you playing Dark Souls?
That 0-2 up there is humanity. He has 2 humanity left, and when you die, you can use a humanity to become human again. Otherwise, your health is halved, and you're like in zombie form essentially. So, to be the reason you want to be a human is to be able to summon help. Like, you can have someone else help you. If you run out of humanity, these battles get even harder. I was on my last humanity when I killed them. And just, it was an absolute wreck.
Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis. You guys probably remember Psycho Mantis, so we'll blow through, but this was one of Jason's suggestions and one of mine as well. And Chuck's. You had to switch the controller from the controller port to be able to beat him.
This dude broke the fourth wall so hard.
That's crazy.
He reads your memory card and is like, "Oh, you like Castlevania? I see you've been playing." And on the GameCube, he's like, "So you play a lot of Smash Brothers, huh?" And then depending on how you've been playing, he tells you about yourself. Like, if you save a lot, he's like, "So you're a really careful guy. You like to kick the tires on the car every time you go out, right?" And like stuff like that.
Oh, what a creep.
And then he tells you to set your controller down. He's like, "Set it down." You set it down, and he goes, "Now I'm going to move the controller with my mind." And it uses the rumble feature to slide it across the table. It's cool shit.
That is
this
some creeper
fucking
shit.
dude, Ramon Rios.
15 seconds on Ramon Rios.
15 seconds. All right. He likes launching homing missiles. This is Syndicate, so you have a computer in your head that you can use to hack other computers. And in this game, homing missiles have computers. So it's like the ping pong that you play in Legend of Zelda, except instead of knocking fireballs back and forth with swords, you're hacking and rehacking missiles until they eventually hit him, because you can't hit him any other way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck this guy.
Sky and Kyra says God of War, in terms of being the bad guy.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. You are killing all of the gods out there.
I'm
Any
talking
of
about,
But
I'm
I mean,
talking about
Zeus needs to
hatching.
fucking have his dick.
I'm talking about hatching a plan.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
The Sand Dragon is my favorite boss from Shadow of the Colossus because you have to ride
dude.
alongside, jump and grab it, and then go up and do shit. And it was,
I was wondering if Shadow was going to make an appearance
Fucking
here.
Dune Raiders.
yeah, this is classic shit.
spice
Hey,
must
Corporate Cal, what's
flow.
going on?
Oh.
Corporate Cal's in the chat. Everybody say hello and make
Pick
fun of
fun
him.
at him.
Corporate
Saren.
So
Speaking of,
this is the first Mass Effect, and this is something that we've mentioned a few times, is that you can talk him into
killing himself.
killing himself. And the
You can
male
talk him
shepherd,
into killing himself.
the male shepherd is such a bad actor. So just
It's never too late.
To apologize.
Oh, he is terrible.
yeah.
He was the main bad guy.
As a final boss. Now,
And you can talk the main villain into killing himself.
what
Well,
happens after he falls through here is that he actually sort of gets
Reanimated.
by the Reaper
Oh,
and then becomes
Fuck
the thing.
this guy.
Oh, dude.
Kingdom
Fuck this
Hearts.
guy.
Did any who played Kingdom Hearts 2?
Oh, yeah.
Some yes and yes.
All of it.
All of it?
all of
Okay.
it.
Who beat Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2?
I didn't.
Not worth it.
not worth
Maybe I don't remember. It's been a long time.
It's kind of hard to have bragging rights on a PS2 game because nobody can just look up your profile and go, "Oh, so he has done it."
Yeah.
Look at that.
Everybody,
Look, everybody
is going
fucking said,
fuck
"Fuck
Sephi."
Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
The end.
One of my favorite boss battles of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful, beautiful boss battle.
What? How long did it?
I think it went on for me for at least an hour and a half before
Yeah.
I kind of realized what I was doing.
Yeah.
Can't you come back to it later and he'll actually die of
If
old
you
age?
if you save and then come back to your
Like a
save
week
file
later.
a real human week later, then yeah, he's dead. He died of old age. Let's see. Paige
yeah.
S on Facebook mentioned Volvagia and I hope I said that name right, in Ocarina, and the reason she said is because she read the comics, and in the pre-Ocarina, Link and this character were friends, and being forced to kill him, who had been sort of corrupted by Ganondorf, was especially heartbreaking.
Link was friends with a
fire
fiery
dragon.
serpent.
I'm trusting Paige on this one.
That seems strange. She's just
Or
a
maybe the
forest
serpent
kid.
is a corruption of a former friend.
Maybe
Entirely
Link is
theoretically
Atreyu,
possible.
and that was Falcor.
Oh God,
Wow.
no!
Yeah, mind blown.
No.
And look at him now.
Okay, guys. John Hammock, I want you to explain to me what the betrayal was in your Left 4 Dead. Because before we, our last little segment here before we wrap up and tell you guys about what's coming up, because we're off next week. So
You're off next week. I'm still
explain
streaming.
what happened in Left 4 Dead, because you can really Left 4 Dead is actually one of those games where whenever a character gets downed, it's really hard to go save them. So frequently Mike, who used to be on the podcast, my old roommate, and now in any video game, if I get downed, he yells Left 4 Dead, and then he runs. That's how he handles that situation.
That's fucked.
What a guy.
Tell Chuck I'll show him next time he's at Sci-Fi Burleson. Oh, Pandori. Who's
I don't-
Pandori?
I don't know.
I guess we know Pandori. So John Hammock says played Left 4 Dead with Nick, Robotical Nick, who is a viewer of ours, 2 weeks after I met him. And well,
Sky and Kyra, Chuck, we still need to play Risk of Sunshine or Rainbows.
Oh, Pandori is
that
Paige. Hello,
Hi,
Paige.
Paige.
How's it going?
Yeah, Sky and Kyra, it's gonna be you and me and Game Guy. We're gonna have to throw our controllers in anger. His wife.
Okay, so yeah, John Hammond's explaining. His wife is my wife's cousin. That's how they met. They played Left 4 Dead with Nick, and they get to the end of the hospital. Is the hospital the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the first level of the game. And the way Left 4 Dead works is, you go through and you shoot zombies until you get to the extraction point. Then when you get to extraction, you have to survive long enough to be extracted. So
I get a game.
They're racing to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Hammock goes down.
Get to the chopper.
And the betrayal is coming up here. I tell Nick I need help, and all I hear is
in a near falsetto
voice. Oh my God!
I hope I approximated that correctly.
He gets on the chopper and leaves my ass.
Fucker.
Have you been betrayed in the Division yet, Will? Have you been able to do Dark Zone stuff or anything yet?
Yeah, I went in the Dark Zone. We haven't betrayed each other because I trust my team, trust my squad.
But
it was my first time in the DZ.
Yeah,
and
down to the DZ.
Yeah, and I'm cruising through the streets. It's scary because there's death around every corner in the Division, right? So I'm cruising through, and it's my brother. He's on my 6, and he's watching out for me. And it was both of our first times, but our buddy who is in our group normally, but he is a higher level than us, so he can't come into the same DZ as we are. And so he wasn't there to protect us. And so I pick up some cool shit, and I'm like, oh man, I got to get this stuff extracted. So I get to the extraction point and fire off my flare.
Yeah.
And sure enough, every fucking character in the game comes after us, right?
Yeah.
Have you been in the DZ yet?
No, but when you extract, everybody can see your extraction.
Everyone can see your extraction, and so they're like, oh, and all the other players come to be rogue dickheads.
To fuck yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just
ringing
you
the dinner bell
and your bro, and you're fighting off, a horde of very powerful
fuckers.
people.
Corporate Cal, it's DZ
The
Division
Discovery
Dark
Zone.
Zone.
Yeah, the
Discover what you can't do on your own.
As a postscript to John Hammock's story, he said he jokingly said that he should name his first child after him since he saved his life, and his response was "Sure thing, Mike," which is obviously not his name. Hey, Dragonfly, thanks for joining us. Hello, how's it going? So here's a couple of things. I noticed when I was looking up game Betrayals was that it's really hard to do it well because you either see it coming or it's random.
Yeah.
It's like, it was me the whole time, Andros, or whatever. Or like some character's like, I don't trust that guy. And you're like, oh, probably because he's going to betray us in 30 minutes.
Right.
30
Curse
minutes.
your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Exactly.
We've expected this.
There was one that did it well, actually. In Game of Thrones, the Telltale game, you can choose who to be your advisor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's sort of the tough, rough and tumble guy, and then there's the more diplomatic guy.
Yeah.
There's the fighter and the diplomat, and I chose the diplomat. And as we were playing through, I was like, oh, there's a traitor amongst us. I bet it's the diplomat guy, because that it would flip the script. It's not
Right.
the action guy who always wants to blah, blah, blah. And so Jonathan and I were like, oh, we chose the traitor, but the traitor was the other guy. And when we got to it, and maybe the game shifts it depending on who you didn't pick.
I'm kind of hoping they do that.
And if they do that, that's a good way to do that. So
Yeah.
you can never see it coming. I like the way they did that. But here's a few characters that betray you in games. Obviously, there's a spoiler alert. And
Spoil the shit out of your
that's
games.
the whole podcast is sort of spoilery. Wesker and Barry, Resident Evil 1.
Yes,
Barry.
Wesker.
Barry. Yeah, he's working with Wesker and the Jill side because the Umbrella has his family.
Oh.
And he's like,
So-
I'm sorry,
I'm sorry,
I've got
forced
you
betrayal?
killed, but they got my family. I don't give a fuck who they got. You sold me out.
Bastard.
I did it for altruistic reasons. Well, and then he's still a hero, like later on in the series.
He's making up for it. He's the atoner.
Yeah, I guess.
Kane from Final Fantasy IV.
Game guy said Dice betrays him. Battlefield 4 has been a betrayal.
Wow.
Yeah. Explain, game guy. What do you mean? Why does it hate you so? Citra in Far Cry 3. You choose to stay on the island.
Yeah.
And she's the one that's been helping you the whole
in the
time.
midst of your humping and
you
pumping,
go to bang, and she
stab.
stabs you in the chest while
you
you're
live
having
like
sex.
a warrior. Now you die like a warrior.
Which, if you're gonna go,
Go mid-coitus.
it's the way to
Yeah,
go.
that is the way to go.
Just saying. Crackdown. Remember the end of Crackdown?
Oh, I like the way you described that one. How can a story or a game that doesn't have a story have a plot twist?
Yeah, exactly. There's no story in Crackdown 3. It is you are an agent, and there are 3 gangs on this island. You know they are gang members because we told you that they are, and you have to murder all of them. And you're apparently the good guy, except that at the very end, your handler, who just tells you where to go through your earpiece, is like, "You killed them all, agent. Now we're in control." And that's the end of the game.
And not only that, he actually goes like, "Who do you think gave Los Muertos all their guns? Who do you think's been the one that's been channeling all the human slaves to the Volk?"
Yes, I was going to say Wheatley Droid from Portal 2.
Wheatley I wrote down.
Wheatley was a good one.
And because that's one that Skyrim Kyra said, because he's so goofy.
You don't expect him to be an effective betrayer.
But then he ends up being a evil, maniacal idiot with a...
When you plug him into GLaDOS, basically, right?
With some sort of power competency issue.
Flip it around. How do you feel about betraying the companion cube?
It's a person folded up in a box, and they don't even give me cake.
How do you feel about it? You monster.
I'm a box. I'm a box. It's a box.
I'll betray anybody in a video
Yes,
game.
Atlas, would
Caldane,
you kindly?
Yes, we did.
Oh, yeah.
That was.
Would you kindly?
Will, did you ever finish BioShock?
No.
BioShock is the game that will make you question gaming.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to ruin it for you.
Do it.
Okay, so games in general,
Yeah.
you do things the game tells you to do.
Right.
That's how games are played.
For sure.
In this game, it's actually part of the plot. Because every time you're given an objective, they say, "Would you kindly go?" and blah, 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 blah. And what the reveal is that that's a trigger phrase. So when you get to a point where sort of the guy that runs Rapture, it's like, "Would you kindly kill him?" And the game won't progress unless you do it. But it's, you've been hypnotized to obey.
Right.
I can't remember what he says as you're beating his face in. Yeah. A man chooses. A man chooses. A slave obeys.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, here it comes. He keeps saying, "Would you kindly?" After you're done killing Ryan.
Yeah.
You just beat him the hell in with a golf club.
Corporate Cow mentions Delita from Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, Delita from I never finished it because Final Fantasy Tactics is another one of those games that it's so hard.
Lance Vance.
Lance
yes.
Vance.
What a bastard.
Fuck that guy.
Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You save him and his brother, and he still goes, "You're not treating me as an equal."
You do kind of treat him like shit, though. Like, you're a dick to him, like, the whole game.
And he puts up with it
until he doesn't.
Then. Okay,
Did you finish
Mr.
Vice City?
Random, of
Are you a
course.
GTA guy?
Dude, I've been a GTA guy since it was top down.
Okay.
2D.
Tank controls.
I think one that I really liked was Assassin's Creed
Ross.
Unity, whenever Bellic reveals that he poisoned
Oh, yeah, that was
Marabou.
pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good. It wasn't like a complete side swipe, but, it made sense. And that's the thing about the Betrayals is that they've got to make sense. Edgar Ross in Red Dead Redemption.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, yes.
He was the government agent that's like, okay, tell you what, we'll get you out of your trouble. You go do the shit for us. We'll let you go back home. And he does.
And he does get to go back home,
And
but
he
then
shows up.
Then he shows up.
He gets his Bolivian army
And he
ending.
doesn't show up like immediately. You do a lot of shit like around the house. You're fetching chickens and doing farmy shit. And I'm wondering at the time, like, why is this game still going?
Yeah.
Because it's trying to show him, trying to reconnect with his family.
Yeah. And
Kerrigan, I would
man.
totally say Kerrigan counts. Because, Kerrigan's kind of brainwashed, but that's still technically a betrayal.
Skyrim Car mentions General Shepard in Modern Warfare 2. And now the Call of Duty games are not really known for their story, except the first two. The first Modern Warfare and the second Modern Warfare had kind of a story. And the second one was a pretty good one because you're about to get on the chopper and then he, shoots you in the stomach, shoots your partner, and then comes over to blow your brains out. And it's a good
Knife to the head.
out of nowhere kind of thwack.
Double Dragon, where at the end, if you were playing with 2 players,
You had to
actually
fight each
fight
other.
each other so you could get the girl.
Oh, God. What kind of message does that send?
Okay, you know what? That game starts. You know what the intro sequence is?
Where he comes up and he punches the girl in the stomach, throws
And
her over the shoulder, and walks away.
Fireman carries her off the screen.
This
Like,
thing belongs to
wow.
me. The boss, Metal Gear Solid 3. The the betrayal that wasn't.
It was a heartbreaking betrayal,
Yeah.
to be sure. But the real betrayal for me was you were forced to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Oh,
I
that,
sat there
that
for like
Kojima made you do
fucking
it.
10 minutes. I had the controller.
Just head in hand. Oh yeah, Castle Crashers did do that, didn't they? We had to fight each other, right?
What
I
is
think
it?
so.
Look at the end. Yeah.
Bastilla from Star Wars.
Bastila, yeah. It was also a good boss battle too.
The brutes in Halo 3. It's not so much so that it was like I didn't see it coming. It's just that it was where all the plot happened in Halo, in the hierarchy of the Covenant, and now the elites are defecting, and there's a scene where the brutes have taken over as the guardians of the prophets, and playing as the Arbiter, you come out into the valley, and there are dead elites everywhere, and it's a really great, like, holy shit, they're butchering them all, like, and they were on the same side, and I really liked that one.
Okay, Sky and Kyra, party and board games. You want Betrayals? 3
Mario
games.
Party.
Dead of Winter, Battlestar Galactica, and Firefly.
I got one more before we head towards our outro stuff. Dragon Age Inquisition. If you don't want to hear the spoiler, because this game's fairly new.
God damn it! I have to
Spoiler
leave the
in-
room.
In 3, 2, 1, Solus turns out to be a really bad guy and leaves your party, and it really sucks because he's also your only healer.
Well, Riku, Sky and Kyra says Riku from Kingdom Hearts, and it wasn't
You can come
really a full betrayal. It was a partial. Because he eventually
Kingdom
comes
Hearts?
back and redeems himself. He doesn't stay away forever.
And it sounds like Kane from Final Fantasy IV.
You guys are fantastic. You guys are fantastic viewers. You guys are fantastic.
We
on
have
Twitter.
had an
We have a
active chat room.
blast
Holy
with you guys.
shit.
And our little channel is growing. We have this that Shark created called the Angry Cuddles Fan Can. So we're about to go to the can. What the can is we have questions that people ask us through social media and email. You can ask us anything you want, and we'll draw it at random, and we will answer whatever's in here. So here we go. Clunk, clunk, clunkety clunk. Pull one out. And Mike on Facebook asks, is there a next big thing on the horizon for Angry Cuddles?
Okay.
That's a good question.
The next big thing.
I know that you were talking about new artist.
Yeah, our artist Joseph is leaving in May. Our 5th anniversary is in May, so we're going to be bringing on a new artist. The worst case scenario, if I don't have someone to take over the webcomic immediately,
I could do stick figures.
then I will be working on a graphic novel over the summer with an artist. I don't want to say his name yet because I still have to talk to him. But the idea is that I'd write another graphic novel and then start the webcomic again in the fall. But if we get to, roll over seamlessly, then we'll have a new artist in May. At the same time, we have our 5th anniversary party, and we haven't announced the specific details that yet. We're still hammering stuff out. But if you guys are anywhere around the Fort Worth area, the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area, the first Saturday in May is Free Comic Book Day, and we're going to hi, Pandori, thanks for coming by. We're going to be having a really big 5th anniversary party, and we're going to be giving a lot of shit away, and some of the shit that we give away may be really epic. We also have a show producer that will be taking over in the summer. We're going to try and get an actual studio space over the summer, and Will, would you still be on the podcast if we didn't do it inside your very own home?
Yeah.
You'd still drive somewhere to do it?
Yeah.
What a champion.
Mm-hmm.
What a champion.
He's sold on the cause, man.
And so
He's a soldier.
The next big thing is that the site is being rebuilt from the ground up. So we will have a new site sometime before fall. Pretty much
HTML, CSS.
Pretty much everything that we're focused on right now is audience building and keeping you guys entertained and bringing people in and doing stuff for you and getting to the point where it's not obvious, to be perfectly honest with you, where it's not an enormous cash sink. And it is a bit of a money pit right now.
This is a labor of love, to be sure.
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
he says this, right now we're supposed to be, paying attention to bringing in more people. That's where you guys can come in, because we've seen here on our chat room a bunch of people who are engaging with us. Just spread the word about AC, man.
Yeah, if there's anybody that you think would like either our webcomic or podcast or Twitch channel, feel free to share. And that's
when the new
really
website
the best
goes
gift.
up, when the new website goes up, it's not only going to link to the webcom, it's going to be linked to this as well, and it's going to link to everybody's like individual stuff too. And so if there's like one thing in particular that you like, or if you just like the whole thing, just share the shit out of all of it.
Actually, I can show you guys real quick what our new or what our site looks like. If you haven't been there, this is what our website looks like.
Nice
yeah, see, we
timing.
have a cuddle or a consistency in terms of, but we have the we do have the Twitch channel now on the site, where when you go to that portion of the site, you can see our live feed and take part in the chat from the site as well. Whoa! Website inside website inside website.
Inside
and
advertisement.
then we have ads.
And then we have that.
Oh, so they can just go straight to the website to watch this.
Yep.
They can if they want
Live.
to. Yeah,
That's
correct.
great.
And chat
Nice.
if they want
That's
to.
a really cool embed, by the way.
Yeah, I looked it up and I was like, I bet I can do that. And
sexy.
lo and behold, I can.
Can you link that to Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
We can do live streams to Facebook.
Well, when I do what I normally do, which is post the link to our channel on Facebook, it automatically puts an embed player. So people can click right there and just watch.
And
They can't
watch.
chat, but they can watch.
But they can watch
Yeah.
on Facebook
Uh-huh.
Live. That's really great.
Yeah.
When you stream from Xbox One, you can't chat there either.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. The full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other podcast. I just wanna tell Chuck how I'm feeling. I wanna make him understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and hurt you.
Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie. Desert you.
My name is Steven.
My name is Mud.
My name is Terrence Howard.
Rhodey.
I'm from
Thank you, Caldane, for the reminder. Yes, I'm going to talk to you about Akon here, guys, as soon as we're off.
I'm a shark.
My name is Mud.
Thanks, you guys, for hanging out. We're off next week. No podcast, no webcomic. We'll probably stream some games. But
yeah,
no
I'm gonna
podcast,
stream.
no webcomic. In 2 weeks when we come back, it is all about Fallout. Fallout 4, Fallout franchise. We're going to talk about the ending of the game,
And
so
I'm gonna
be
rip it
prepared
apart.
for that, and we'll fucking
Shit,
hate
does
it.
that mean I've got like 2 weeks to beat Fallout 4?
Ish.